Hello and welcome. Welcome to Craft and Sewing Tool Chest with Clover. I'm Geraldine Wilkins, the Living Water Quilter. We're going to go over some tools that we can use to help us work on and complete our craft and sewing projects with ease. I love tools that help me get things done. What about you? We are live on the Clover YouTube channel and we're also live on Amazon. Live on Amazon so that you can get these tools ASAP. If you are watching, welcome, welcome. Say hello in the chat. We're so glad that you're here. Ask questions. We are here to help. So if you want to go to Amazon and see the tools and put them in your cart and have them for your tool chest, all you have to do is go right here to tools.livingwaterquilter.live so that you can get access to these tools. We want to make it convenient for you. Now, what are the tools that we're going to look at today? Let's take a look. All right, these are the tools that we're going to look at today. We're going to look at some wonder clips, some patchwork scissors, a marking tool, a pin caddy, and the hot ruler, and then also the mini iron. These are Clover tools that help me in my sewing and quilting to make it easier and to make it fun. When we don't have frustration, it is fun to sew and make different craft items. Let's start with the mini iron. So I'm going to highlight that in the carousel on Amazon. We're going to look at this one first. Let me move these aside. Let me know if you have any questions. I am here to help. That is why I am here. All right, so let's look at this tool. We're going to go right here. Thank you for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions. This is the Mini Iron 2, the adapter. It is a wonderful task-specific tool. Now, I like to use that phrase, task specific, because I want a tool that's going to work on a specific task to make it easier and more efficient so it saves me time. And this is one of those tools. So what do you get with it? You get a number of things. You get a stand to help hold the iron while it's hot so it doesn't scorch your fabric. It plugs in so it's heated. It has controls and it has a screwdriver so that you can change the adapter. Let's take a look inside. Okay, that's that. And here's the screwdriver. So here's the included screwdriver. We're going to use that for the tip. This is the stand. This stand is going to be used to rest while it's hot. Of course, you know it's not hot now because it's not plugged in. Now, I love Clover tools because they always give you instructions. You have instructions, detailed diagrams, so you will know how to use the tool to get the most out of it. I always recommend read the instructions so that you learn how to use the tool. Here is a diagram on how to remove the pin, the adapter. You can get these in different sizes. This is one size. Let's see, what does it say on the instructions? It says the adapter tip can be changed to suit a variety of purposes, such as quilting and sewing and floral crafting. I like to use it for applique. It's very easy to loosen and tighten. You don't have to over tighten it to make it easy for this adapter to come out. So you can get a larger size if you want to use something larger. But that is sold separately. When it is heated, once it's plugged in, you're going to heat it, and you have several settings. You have high, medium, and low. Once it's plugged in and you're not using it, make sure you rest it on top of this stand. You want to make sure it rests on the stand so it does not touch the fabric to scorch the fabric. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to check with my friends on Amazon. I don't think I see anything. Not yet. So it also has this guard here. This is to protect your hands from touching this center column, which is hot. So be careful and use this safely and responsibly so that you can get the most out of the tool and enjoy it for finishing your projects. I love a good tool. Let me show you one of my ongoing projects. It's an applique project. And I would use the mini iron to help me with this project. When you're using an iron to press applique, now this is pretty large, this applique. It's not small, but some applique projects are very detailed. But even with this one, you want to use a iron that's not going to completely make you uh, unable to see the applique. You want something small enough so that you can see what you are doing when you are pressing, because you can press things over if you can't see it. Here it's easy to see to press along the applique edges. This is one way that I use it, but there are multiple ways to use this mini iron. So that is the first tool. That's our first tool, the mini iron 2. Very task specific. It makes it easy and efficient to applique very delicate areas that you want to see as you press. Sometimes if you use a larger iron, you can't see what you're pressing. You want to use the mini 2. Let me know if you have any questions. And let me check my friends here on YouTube. We're live on the Clover YouTube channel as well. So let's go to the next item in the carousel, and it's one of my favorites. It is a pin caddy, a magnetic pin caddy. Put this over here. A magnetic pin caddy is great to have next to your sewing machine or while you are pinning something at maybe perhaps your cutting table. This pin caddy, magnetic, it's heart-shaped. Notice that it has an opening right here and an opening right here. That is for your fingers to hold on to so that you can release the cap. So I have some Clover pins already on the caddy. Notice that there's an indentation right here. Indentation, that's so that your fingers can easily pick up a pin. How many of us have dropped the pins on the floor? A magnetic pin caddy is easy to use when we've dropped them on the floor or the table and we want to quickly pick them up. That quickly we can pick up the pins. I love a tool that's going to make it efficient and also to make allow me to save time very quickly picking up the pins. And it's safer. You're less likely to stick yourself when you're using a magnetic tool like this one. And when you are not using it, all you need to do, or if you're traveling, is to put the cap right on. Very easy. The cap stays on. It doesn't come off. I love a nice tool like this. Easy, easy, right? Did you notice that these were scattered every which way, and I could easily pick up the pins, and then once they are up, whoops, they line up perfectly for me to be able to pick up the pin as I need it. I love a good tool. This is a favorite. And I like purple. Can you tell? I like purple too. Okay, this is the magnetic pin caddy, ideal for having by your sewing table, by your sewing machine, ready to use pins that you need at a moment. So what is next in our carousel? Let me know if you have any questions about any of the tools in the carousel. That's why I'm here. If you want to know other ways in which to use some of these tools, we can talk about it. Let us know how you use these tools. How do you apply or use these tools in your projects? So the next tool is the Clover Patchwork Scissors. Patchwork scissors are important to have. And again, there are different types of scissors. Patchwork scissors, these are small and petite. And small and petite is good for patchwork. Normally, we're working with quilt blocks that are 12 inches square or smaller. So, a small set of scissors, pair of scissors, would be ideal, right? I love these. They're very sharp. And because they are sharp, it includes this nice leather sheath. I love having this protective sheath to cover the tip that is very pointy and very sharp. Very sharp. The sheath is leather, well made, like that. Let's take a look at the scissors. Easy to use. And I'm right handed, good for left hand and right hand users. I like that option. Hello, Deneen. So glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome. We're looking at some wonderful tools for our tool chest, and these are one of my favorite pair of scissors. These are great for patchwork. They're Clover Patchwork. They're good for very detailed cutting and for trimming of threads. That nice pointed tip. I like having a nice pointed tip to get in very tightly and cleanly. A nice, easy way to cut. Now, I didn't have to apply a lot of pressure to cut those small little bites out of the fabric. Easy, easy, easy. And if you have to cut, say, around applique, something that is very delicate, you want to use precision scissors, things that are going to, a pair of scissors that are going to easily go around something that's not big and bulky. That's why a smaller pair of scissors work well. So what's new with you, Deneen? What are you working on? Oh, you have them. Wonderful. I'm so glad that you do. Do you like these smaller scissors for patchwork? Are they nice to have by your machine? Where do you use them? What kind of projects do you use them for? I like having a nice small pair of scissors for delicate and close work. You see that thread, you want to be able to cut the thread without cutting the fabric. And that's where these scissors come into play. I like being able to do that. Very clean cut. Clean cuts with precision. That's what these do. You want to have scissors that are going to work for a very specific task, and these are patchwork scissors. Very pointed and precise cutting is what you will use these for. So I love these. What else do we have in our tool chest? We've looked at so far the mini iron, which I use for applique. We've looked at the magnetic pin caddy, and then we just looked at the patchwork scissors. These are tool chest items for sewing and crafting that are going to help you efficiently and quickly finish your projects with ease. Okay, what is next? Now, this is a favorite. Are you a quilter? Perhaps you're a quilter and you want to free motion quilt designs in your projects, and you have some stencils in your collection. You need to transfer those designs from the stencil to the fabric. Let's take a look at a tool that will help us do that very easily and accurately. It is let's see, let me get some fabric and a stencil here for you to take a look at. I have a few right here on hand. Let's take a look. It's a white marking pen. A white marking pen by Clover. And on the packaging, you'll notice there's a little iron right there. That's to indicate that after you apply this to your fabric, all you need to do is put an iron on top and it will be removed. So Deneen says she uses her patchwork scissors with patchwork, so she gets the most out of them. So these are transfer stencils. They have holes in them so that you can use a marking tool to transfer the design to fabric. And you can see I did that right here. And then once it's on the fabric, I have a way to follow it with my free motion quilting foot to stitch this design right onto the fabric. I like that. I think I want to lighten the camera just a little bit. Let's see if I can make that a little bit brighter. All right, it's a little bit brighter. Hopefully you can see that. And now the important thing is that you don't want to shift the tool, right? You want to place it where you want. I got that upside down. Let's do that. And it's a white marking pen. It's fine. I like to use a fine tip when I'm using it for stencils. You want to hold that in place and then just very carefully go around. My habit is to go over twice. Not necessary, but I don't like to move the stencil thinking that, well, did I cover the entire area? So if I do it twice, once and back, I know that I've got it covered. And I'm holding the stencil in place, and now I'm done. What's interesting about this marking tool is that in the beginning, you will not see it. It will be very faint. You see how it's already starting to get dark here? And then it's now getting darker and darker as time goes. Now I'm ready to stitch. I love a tool that's going to be efficient and accurate and easy to use for what I want to accomplish, right? I think you do too. There's nothing like being frustrated when you have very little bit of time to sew and quilt. We have many responsibilities, and sometimes we only have a few minutes, maybe 20 or 30 minutes to sew or quilt or work on a project. And you don't want to use up that time with a tool that's not working for you. This is a tool that works. I love tools that work. So, right, remember, it's going to get darker as time goes. You see that starting to appear? Look at this one. It's already darker. This is the last heart that I put on, and it is coming in more and more as time goes. And then when you're done, you stitched it. All you need to do is put a hot iron and it's gone. Easy, easy. Just put the iron on and it's gone. I love these types of tools. Fantastic. Okay, so what is next in our tool chest? We are going to look at, oops, I put the wrong thing here. Let me see. All right, so the hot hammer. We're going to look at the hot hammer. That's one of my favorite tools. It's multi-purpose. It's not the hot hammer. I'm sorry, it's the hot ruler. There are two tools that are very similar, the hot hammer and the hot ruler. The hot ruler is long and the hot hammer is square with a little 90-degree angle cut on one end. But we're going to look at the hot ruler. The hot ruler is one of my favorite tools, and I like it for pressing hems, and you'll see what I mean in a moment if you haven't seen it before. Let's go to the overhead camera. So this is the hot ruler. And the hot ruler has measurements on it. And the thing that's fantastic about it for using it for pressing hems or seam allowances is that you can put the iron right on top and this just gets warm. You can still touch it. Unlike one that is metal, when the iron is on top of this, you can continue to use it because you can continue to touch. It's only going to get warm. There's a felt-like texture which helps it to grip fabric so that it doesn't shift while you are pressing. That's another bonus why I like this tool. And there's so many things that you can use it for. So let's take a look. I have a couple things here I want to show you that I've used this for. I made some cloth napkins and I make them out of fat quarters. I cut them in half. They are smaller cloth napkins made for lunch on the go. If you make lunch, you bring it with you on a road trip. It's nice to have something small, nothing too big, right? But look at these beautiful mitered corners, beautiful hems. All this was done with what? Yes, this hot ruler. Easy, easy. Let me show you how easy it is. You're going to take your fabric and, of course, a hot iron. And because it has measurements on it, you can measure out exactly what size hem you want. And you're going to fold the fabric over and press and press. And because you can touch this while it has been touched by an iron, because it does not get too hot to touch, it only gets warm. You're going to press and press. Now you have the option, depending upon the hem you want, is to fold this over and then do that, or you can do one at a time. This is a full 1-inch hem. If you want to have a 1/2-inch hem, you can just fold this over and make sure that it lines up with the 1/2-inch mark, and then you're going to press. It's that easy. Now, it makes a difference when you have a pressing tool that doesn't get too hot for the touch. It saves time when you can continue to press even when this is warm. Okay, so what else can you do with this ruler? Notice there are 45-degree lines. 45-degree lines can be used to miter the corner. Remember how I mentioned I mitered the corner on my cloth napkins? Here's a miter right there, mitered corner. Now, when I first started sewing, I didn't know how to miter a corner. So like many, what I would do is that I would fold over the hem, fold it over, and then fold it over again. Raise your hand if you've done that before. You've turned it over and you've turned it over and you have this bulky square of fabric in the corner. Now, that might be fine. It may be suitable for you, but perhaps you want a nice mitered corner. There's a difference between the way these two look, right? This is a nice professional finish having a mitered corner, right? So how do we use that with, or do that with a hot ruler? Of course, we're going to use it to create our hem, our desired hem, right? So I have a 1/2-inch and a 1/2-inch. You can see the whole inch right here. Here's my pen line so that you can see that I've created a 1/2 and a 1/2. Once you have that, you're going to take that 45-degree angle that's on the ruler and you're going to put it right here in that corner. Once that happens, you're going to take the corner of the fabric and put it right on the 45 line. Can you see that? Let me go tighter here. There we go. That's tighter. So once that's like that, you can fold over once, go up a little bit higher, and then fold over again to have your 1/2 inch hem. Then you have your first miter, but you have all this fabric over here. You don't want that fabric. So to show, because you're going to fold this over once, right? This is a full half and then a half. That is your miter right there. But you have this little piece of fabric. So before you fold it over, you want to fold this in half and put the point right here in the corner. So remember, we are starting out by taking the corner of the fabric, laying it right on the 45. The ruler's doing all the work for us. Once that's down, then you're going to take this point and bring it right to the corner. Fold that in half. Do you see it makes a 1-inch square? Fold that in half, and then you're going to fold over your hem, your seam allowance and hem to get your miter. All done right here on the ruler. Then you're going to just top stitch right along the edge. So easy. Hopefully you got that, and that is how I made these mitered corners, exactly as you see. I did it exactly the same way. Last time, if you're just joining me, I'm showing you how to use the hot ruler to do mitered corners. You can use it for any project. In my case, I'm using it for a table napkin. You're going to bring the corner right on that 45-degree line. Then you're going to fold that in half on the diagonal. You've already pressed your seam allowance, your hem allowance for 1/2 inch finished edges. When you put those two together, you get a nice mitered corner. Love that. Isn't that a fun way, easy way to make mitered corners using the hot ruler? I love the hot ruler. Now, I mentioned earlier the hot hammer. It also has 45-degree lines. You can use both. They're both by Clover, but I love the hot ruler. So what is next? The next item, I think, is a well-loved favorite by many, and they are the Wonder Clips. Have you heard of the Wonder Clips? They are amazing. They're fantastic, and I'm going to show you one of the ways in which I use it for one of my craft projects. I love the Clover Wonder Clips, and I like them because I can use them for craft projects that use materials that should not be punctured during the process, during the making process. And those could be leather, plastic, vinyl, pleather. There are different things that we sew that we should not use pins, and instead we want to use Wonder Clips. Wonder Clips are fantastic for using instead of pins. Now, I have this set, but I also got the package of 50, which is in the carousel right here on Amazon, if you think you're going to use a lot of them. And I do. I use a lot. I use many. What is interesting about these clips is that they have a spring. It's easy to open and release, but when it's closed, it is closed. It will hold things together. One side, the clear side, is flat. This flat side is the side that you want to have going on your machine bed so that you can hold your pieces together while you sew and then remove the clip once it gets close to the needle. This side is curved. So if you have some bulk, there's going to be plenty of space in there to get your pieces inside. Then on the back, there are some measurements that will help you use these and clip your pieces together the same distance from the edge if you need to do that. And it shows you right here on the packaging what those measurements are. You have 1, 2, 3 measurements. The largest one being, I think it's a 1/2 inch. Let me open up my glasses so I can see. Uh, all right, those are these glasses. Well, a little foggy there. I couldn't see it. Let me try it again. All right, yes, a 1/2 inch from edge to edge. So from the tip to way back here is a 1/2 inch. Okay, so I have for you some examples. I like to use a paper product that you can sew, and occasionally I will use vinyl. Now I had some vinyl here. Whoops. Sorry about that. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. It fell on the floor. All right, so here's the vinyl. When I want to sew vinyl, I'm not going to use pins or this paper product. I want to use something that's going to hold the two pieces together, and that is a Wonder Clip. I want to use something that's going to hold the pieces together so that I can sew them and they don't shift. And a Wonder Clip is my answer. Vinyl, you don't want to use pins to hold it together. And then this is a paper product. Again, both of these, if you use a pin, will leave a permanent hole. And you don't want to leave a permanent hole. And the Wonder Clips are your solution for holding two pieces of substrate products that you don't want to put a hole in. I love having Wonder Clips. Now remember, if I need to hold it the same distance, a 1/2 inch, all I do is push it all the way to the edge, and I know that I'm getting a 1/2 inch from the edge to this tip of the Wonder Clip. I love these Wonder Clips. They're fantastic. And I use vinyl and I also use cork. It's good for cork as well. Did I have a little piece of cork here? I thought I had some here. Let's see. I had some vinyl cork. Maybe I left it on the other side of the room. Either way, that's another example. Just think of the different things that you make where you would not want to use a pin to hold it together. Wonder Clips are the answer. Easy, right? So, what did we look at today? If you're just joining me, we looked at several Clover tools that we should have in our tool chest that are going to help us work on our projects and finish our projects with ease. We looked at Wonder Clips. We looked at the magnetic pin caddy. Let's take a look at everything we looked at. Wonder Clips, magnetic pin caddy. We looked at our favorite patchwork, scissors. We also looked at our mini iron. All of these are very specific tools that are going to help us with multiple projects. And then we looked at a fine marking pen. All of these tools will help you be more efficient and have fun while you are working on your craft and sewing projects. Thank you for joining me. Those who are watching on YouTube, if you have any questions after we're done, you can always leave a comment below the video. We are here to help. If you are not, please follow the Clover YouTube channel. subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we are live or there's a new video uploaded for you to learn more about the tools that are going to help you with your projects. Thank you, Alina. Thank you, Clover, for another opportunity to share your wonderful projects, wonderful tools for craft and sewing for our projects. I love your tools. It's been fantastic to talk about them. My friends who are on Amazon, stay tuned. We have some more tools to look at. Those of you who are on Clover, I'll see you next time for another craft and sewing tool chest.